Hey everyone, welcome back to season 2 of You Were Meant for More. I am your host, Francine Ayala, and I am so excited as far as what's coming for 2025. I've recently launched an 8-week program called Ignite Your Confidence, and we are going to focus on the fundamentals of faith, fitness, and finance, because those are the 3 foundations that you need to really break through in this new year. So are you ready to step out into your power and purpose and walk boldly and confidently into your next season? Go ahead and contact me at francineayala.com/men for more. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of You Were Meant for More. I am your host, Francine Ayala, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me today. Thank you. I know in the last episode, I said this week we would have a speaker, and Tony Navarez is going to be our speaker next week. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we embrace them with grace. And so I am looking forward to him coming on next week. And so stay tuned for that. He has so much insight to share with you all about his own personal journey as he was coming up as an entrepreneur. So you definitely don't want to miss out. So today's message is all about breaking into your own strengths. So utilizing what you currently have within, and we're going on a little treasure hunt, I want to say. I don't know why, but recently I've been using these analogies. The last week was all about travel, and then this week we're all about treasure hunt. I'm like, let's go with it. And I love this message and really uncover how to bring up what you currently have stored within you. And I want to be able to help guide you, through that whole process. And so last week we talked about the confidence journey, about how the foundations through faith, fitness, and finance are going to get you to your next level and what that looks like. And we broke that down in the different areas of those categories. And so definitely take a look at that episode that was last week, and you can find it on our channels. They're there. So definitely go back and watch that and let me know your feedback. I would love to hear from you. So today we're really getting into the good stuff. And like I mentioned, I have notes. So of course, don't mind me as I'm going back and forth to make sure my notes are coming up. Okay, so we are going to be discovering your hidden talents today, because let's be real, who doesn't want to know about their superpowers? I mean, hello. That's all what I'm all about, basically. I like to dive in with clients to really get to know who they are, what they do, and how they're impacting women all over the world. As mentioned previously, if you've never been to any of the networking events that I do, they are free. They're virtual networking events for women in business. They happen every second Thursday of the month. Then I should put the link here, and I always forget that part. But you definitely want to join us. We have an amazing time together, and I receive a lot of feedback about them and that they're so fun and authentic. So definitely check out WheelaConnects.com. And then if you scroll down to our monthly networking event, virtual networking, you'll be able to register. So join us. They're all authentic, real conversations, because I want to get to know who you are, what you do, and what type of impact you're making. And that's where it all comes from, because it's that true, authentic self, and not necessarily having to constantly sell yourself, because when you go to different types of networking events, that's usually what comes about. But these are real conversations, and you get to meet some pretty amazing women there. So don't miss out and join us. And so let's go ahead and continue on this. So I'm bringing up my notes again, so don't mind me. Okay, superpowers. Oh my goodness. I was like, where was I? Superpowers. So for superpowers, I want to know what yours were. And ultimately mine were like eating a whole sleeve of Thin Mint cookies in record speed. Anybody else? It's Girl Scout season. So those are my downfall. I absolutely love Girl Scout cookies. Who remembers when they were like $2 a box? $2 a box? Anybody? Give me a like yes if you're joining live, and a little green heart if you know what I'm talking about. And then I remember Samoa's coming about, tagalongs. My goodness. So I have a good friend of ours who her two daughters are twins and they're both in Girl Scouts. So I'm like, all right, everybody, give me your orders and so forth. So I want to make sure I am supporting these young girls as they venture off into doing empowering young girl stuff, right? So if you're joining me and you love the Girl Scout cookies, drop a green heart. Let me know. It's all good. I just want to know who's participating with me live today. And if you're not, that's okay. You can always catch the replay and still give me some love. Okay, so let's go ahead and briefly recap the confidence episode. It was embarking on your own journey through discovering your why and where you want to go. And I really highly suggest you go back to that episode because I want you to definitely discover why you want to do what you're doing or why you're doing it. Because remember, sometimes when we think we know what we're going after, it's surface level and it really isn't the deep down reason. And that's where I want you to get quiet and I want you to really think about it and sit with it and understand what is driving you, what force is driving you. So sit down, journal it, pray about it, and write it out and find out what your why is and where you want to go with it. And it's going to be profound. So if you want to go back and take a look at that, I highly recommend you do that, or reach out to me if you have any questions so that I can help guide you through that process. Okay. So today, like I mentioned, we're going on a treasure hunt inside you. Yes, I'm going to be corny with, I can't even talk today, with analogies. Yes. Like if I say that word right, do you ever say a word and it comes out and you're like, was that the proper way to say it? Yes, that's literally happening to me right now. But that's okay. Okay, so we're going to explore different ways to unearth those hidden gems. Yes, I'm using all the fun, quirky words. That is me. That's the quirkiness I have inside me, and how to use them to create a life that's not just good, but spectacular. Because, we're all about that. We want to shine and emit our sunshine so that others can be embraced by it. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. First of all, let's analyze your strengths. You're already awesome. So let's definitely bust a myth right now that you are already awesome. So like people always say, "No, I'm just ordinary. It's not me. I'm good." No, you have something within you that needs to come out. So how do we get inside and bring that out? Trust me, everyone has something special, something that makes them shine. It's just a matter of finding it. So I love to ask when I sit down with clients, I love to ask all the questions, because what happens is, as NLP coach, I get to ask all the questions and I get to help my client uncover what they're holding on to, the blocks, the ideas, the limiting beliefs that they're holding on to about themselves. And I get so excited about this because they don't know what they don't know, and I know what they don't know. And this is where the magic happens, because I get to uncover their greatness. And this is why I'm so passionate. This is why I had to really dive deep into my why, to share that this ignites me. It gives me so much joy and excitement to be able to really get people to their next level, to get them to shine, to get them to break out of their comfort zone, to get them to want more for themselves. Because a lot of us don't realize that we're playing small. How many of you have played small for a very long time? I'll just wait. If you're joining me live, just say yes. Me, that's me. I've played small. And you're ready to really take it to the next level. You can say that's me too. So like you could really conquer the world. Or at least, maybe finish that last pile of laundry. I mean, who really likes laundry? Nobody likes laundry. I really don't. I really don't. Because my laundry will get done and it will stay on my bed for probably a week, or on my chair, I should say, because I move it off my bed to sleep. But that's the magic of your strengths at work. You get to uncover where your greatness is, and I get to experience that. Well, I get to uncover it, you get to experience it, vice versa. But we have a great time doing it. Okay, so knowing your strengths, it's not just about feeling good, although that's definitely a perk, right? It's all about being more effective, achieving your goals, and creating a life that actually fits you. It's that finally finding that perfect pair of jeans. Oh my goodness. Seriously. Anybody out there like perfect pair of jeans? I had such a struggle because my thighs broke out after my son. I remember my grandfather told me, he's like, "Oh, you got big thighs." He's like, "That happened after your son." So thanks, grandpa. So, but he saw me grow up and, he saw me basically get bigger. But I mean, seriously, when you find that comfortable pair of jeans that are comfortable, flattering, and makes you feel like a rock star, I mean, seriously, game changer, right? And let's be real, focusing on your strengths is more fun than obsessing over your weaknesses. I mean, as women, we tend to revert back to like our weaknesses and really kind of hone in on that. And then self-sabotage, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, all of those things come to the forefront where it continues to force us to play small. And that's where you definitely don't want to be. So, although I'm a big believer in embracing your quirks, my ability to trip over air is a strength in its own way. I mean, seriously, I trip over my feet. I trip over air. I trip over things that people are like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't know. Something was there." I don't know why. I tend to lose my balance. So I don't know if any of you can relate. If you know or can relate with me. I mean, it's seriously like, what is happening? But it's all good. I embrace life. I have fun with it. I laugh at myself. I laugh with myself. It's all fun. So just embracing that opportunity. Okay, we're going to get into some personality tests. These can be fun, but remember, they're not the be all end all type of tests. This is more like just looking in like a funhouse mirror. They show you a slightly exaggerated version of yourself. I took one that said I was a harmonious little squirrel. I'm like, okay, sounds about right because I get distracted easily. Thank you. But still not sure what that means, but I'm going to go with it. Okay. And so maybe you've done the whole Myers-Briggs type indicator. You've done the Enneagram. Speaking of Enneagram, I actually met someone who does the Enneagram, and she helps you bring out your strengths and where you're able to catapult yourself. And I was like, huh. So I need to schedule an appointment with her because obviously I'm all about learning, and that's where we get to be. We get to receive and learn and grow and continuously evolve so that we can support more people to do the same. Okay, so let's think about your skills, both the ones you learned in school and the ones you picked up along the way. Like, I'm pretty sure expert Netflix binger is a skill. Am I right? No. Okay. No, it's not. Definitely not. I know like there's people out there that have done it. I've done it. Actually, my son and I did it during COVID, and we binge watched Tiger King. So bad. I know I'm a little embarrassed to say that, but that was in 2020. That was 5 years ago. And so, yeah, don't judge me there. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask, what's really important to you? What makes you tick? What kind of world do you want to live in? So get out your notebook, get out a piece of paper, whatever that looks like, and answer these questions. So answering these questions can give you clues about your strengths. For example, if you're passionate about helping others, maybe you have a strength in empathy or compassion. I remember when I was in college, and I was always very what's the word I'm looking for? Amazed and a little jealous of those people that knew what they wanted to be as soon as they were done with college. As soon as they graduated, they would go into their field of study and they would start working. I remember being so envious of that. Man, why don't I know what I want? And it was very frustrating. So when I went into college, I just went into general ed. They're like, well, what's your major? I don't know. I don't know. And so what the counselor did is they put me through this course that it was like kind of like not a personality test, but it was a questionnaire that helped guide you to discovering your career path. So they asked, I want to say there was probably about 100 questions asking you so many things about your likes. And I remember when it narrowed it down, it was like, you should be a nurse. And I'm like, nope, I get grossed out really easily. And it was like, you should be a social worker. I'm like, nope, I will take all those kids home because I love kids and I can't stand that they're in a system, with, I don't even want to get started on that. The next one was, you should be what was it? A therapist, a psychologist. And I was like, no, too much school. And here I am, a coach. So I laugh about that because I needed to find out who I wanted to be and what that looked like. And so really get to know who you are and what you like. I'm hearing from women, from clients that are starting to realize that they like, see a lot of women love helping people, but they like being able to really help people, to help them uncover different types of limiting obstacles that people may be facing. And that opens up a whole new world of opportunity to really support people where they're at. And so there's a lot of women who've evolved as coaches and speakers and really making an impact so that because they're showing so much compassion and love. And I love that. I love to be able to do that. So definitely make sure that you are diving deep. Let me just make sure I covered that whole area really quick before I move forward. Okay, here we go. So that's okay, perfect. I was like, I want to make sure I'm still in alignment. So that's what you want to do. So where do you find your strengths? Like I mentioned in the part where it does say, I like to help others. That's kind of why it guided me in those areas. And I actually thought too, I would be a really good teacher. Like, I don't know why I'd be a really good teacher, but I just knew that teachers, they get, I almost want to say like the grunt of work sometimes, or they're not treated the way they should be treated. Like they're not given the opportunities, the growth, the income that they should really be receiving for dealing with what they deal with. And the thing is, like, if teachers actually ultimately had background and understanding and ultimately in psychology and human behavior, and I am pretty sure some of them do, but on a larger scale, it would definitely be so helpful in teaching youth. So that is just my own idea of it, because I remember going through school and having a really rough time with certain teachers. They weren't getting my personality, they weren't getting who I was, and It's okay. Again, overall, just understanding human behavior. I'm going to say I wasn't the best student. I probably was a CB average student. So it's all good. I see that online. They're like, where are our CB average students? The ones that talked a lot, the ones that couldn't sit still. What are you guys doing now? I'm a speaker. I have my own show. I empower women. so, so get down to what it is you like to do. And like I mentioned, if you want to know more details and really help you uncover and discover where your strengths are, then reach out to me. Okay, so let's now go into some soul searching. So grab, like I mentioned, grab your journal if you haven't grabbed it already, your napkin, whatever's handy, and answer these questions. When did you feel like a superhero? Okay, write that down. When did you feel like a superhero? I'm curious. I remember when it happened to me, and then life, negativity, business failures, everything got thrown at me. But write down, when did you feel like a superhero? I'm curious. And if you want to share with me, drop it in the chat if you're joining me on Facebook or YouTube. Let me know. Send me an email. And I want to know when, or like I want to know when you felt like a superhero, and if anybody threw you off as one, what happened? Share your story. I want to know. Okay, next question. What are you secretly proud of? So let's see. What am I secretly proud of? You know, I get a lot of compliments on my son. And yes, everyone can say they're proud of their kids and so forth. But my son, like, I never, how do you want to say it? I know it sounds crazy, but I never take credit for my son. Like, I understand I take some credit, but I never took credit the way people embraced me to take credit. And I share this because it says, what are you secretly proud of? And it's really embracing, just recently, how an amazing mother I was to my son. And I don't share that often because I was a single mother. I struggled so hard. I didn't know how to be a mom. I just knew how to love my child. And I needed to go through so much of growing up myself that I didn't come out as like I was not the best mom. I say this because, again, someone can show someone love, but as far as like nurturing, well, I don't want to say nurturing because you can nurture your children in a loving way, but like I guess I would say, I mean, I just told you how bad school was for me. So I guess really focusing on his education and helping him, I didn't know how to do that. All I knew was if he was in trouble at school, I would yell at him. And it's funny, I've shared this in a past episode, but I've told him how, or I've asked him before, how was I as a mother? I'm curious. And he told me honestly, because my son and I have open conversations. And he told me, he said, when I was with you, I always got yelled at because I was in trouble. Whereas when I went to my dad would always like explain it to me. And I 100% agree, because as a single mom, stressed out, and let me preface it, his dad was still there. We were co-parenting. I would go to work, I would pick up my son, I would take him home, he had to get ready for bed and homework and everything. So my mind was chaos. I was always in chaos. And so all I'm saying is I didn't embrace the part where people have over the years complimented me. I guess I felt like I didn't deserve it. I had help from his father, I had help from my mom. So it's when they say it was me, I didn't fully embrace it. And it's not until now that I really am embracing it. I had a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, tell me that my son is my mini me. He goes, he is just like you. He is your mini me. And so when I see him working hard, traveling, doing things that are evolving him as an adult. By the way, if you don't know, my son is 28, soon to be 29. I am so proud of who he's becoming. And so when I see him act a certain way, or when he wants to do certain things and go out and explore, I see me in him. And that is what I'm so proud of. And I didn't even intentionally, I mean, not intentional, I didn't even expect me to share all this, but hey, I'm going to go along with you on this journey when it says, what are you secretly proud of? And I can without a doubt say, I am secretly proud of my son. I mean, I am proud of him, but I'm like, it's now embracing that portion. I'm so proud of him as a mother to see him shine. So that was sweet. So I thought I'd share that with you all because that just came up recently. So thank you for being here and sharing in that with me. So if you want to share what you're secretly proud of, definitely send me a message, a DM, and let's just share. I love that. I want to know what inspires you and what gets you motivated and gets you moving. Okay. Had to share a little bit of that. Okay. Next question. What do people compliment you on? And don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let's write it out. Write it out. What do people compliment you on? Brag it. Brag, brag, brag. Because it is so exciting and so uplifting to be able to hear what people compliment you on. And so I've actually reached out and try to figure out what that was to people. And I get complimented on how real I am, how authentic I am, how inspiring I am, which is a few years ago, I would not be able to embrace that. And now I'm fully embracing that. So share. What is it that people compliment you on? I get complimented on my smile. I get complimented on my laugh. I think it's kind of quirky. And I get complimented on my eyes. So, hey, let's brag a little bit. Share what it is that you get complimented on. Write it down. Remember, read it. You are awesome. You are magnificent. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. And if you're a male, you're handsome. Let's love on ourselves. Okay, and the next one I want you to ask is get feedback from others. Ask your friends, family, coworkers what they think you're good at. Just be prepared for some honest answers. I remember my mom told me that my greatest strength was my ability to talk over people. We gotta love our mothers, right? Now, granted, let me preface this by saying a couple years back, I was that person that would always talk over people. And I didn't realize that what I was doing. And I see it in other people doing it. And I understand it because I used to be that person. It wasn't until I started doing a lot of personal development that I realized what I was doing. We're so eager to talk. We're so eager to share. We're so eager to give feedback that we're constantly wanting to talk. And it's when you actually sit back and listen is when you gain control and power. When you take the room, when you control the audience is when you stop and listen. It's actually very profound And I've learned that over my years in personal development. So I laugh and I say, thanks, Mom. And that's okay, because guess what? We're constantly growing. We get to grow as individuals every day by learning, by applying ourselves, by educating ourselves, and then taking action. I remember there was a phrase we used to always say, and maybe you know it: knowledge is power. And I remember we used to say it as I got into entrepreneurship. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Never stop learning. And it's true. Knowledge is power. However, my mentors used to say, knowledge is power when applied. Whoa, game changer. I was like, you know what? 100%. Absolutely right. So think about that. You can, I've done it. I've done it. You can constantly learn, educate yourself, grow with what you're learning. But if you're not applying, and if you're not taking the next step to what you're learning, then you're just staying still. You're staying in your comfort zone. But if you're making a conscious effort to learn something because it's part of your growth process, then why are you not taking action? Think about it. There's hidden layers down there that are keeping you safe. But why play safe when you can come out and find your strengths and learn more about your awesomeness? I'm just saying. Okay, so now into our next area. Okay, so how to recognize your strengths. Here we go. Strengths come in all shapes and sizes. Some are obvious, like being a brilliant musician or whiz at coding. These AI people that are learning and evolving in the AI spectrum, let me just tell you, they are taking their businesses to a whole new level. Let me preface this too by saying, if you're not staying up to date with AI, you're falling behind in your business. I remember when the internet launched, and it was the whole www, and my brother told me to get involved with the internet. And I was like, okay. He goes, computers are the next best thing. You don't want to fall behind. And sure enough, I did. I got onto the computer eventually, but it took me a long time to get me to where I'm at today. My dad took apart computers, put them back together, learned the ins and outs of them. He trained on them. My brother knows how to use a computer very well. He knows how to research and make it work for him. Literally just yesterday, I was talking to a friend to help me connect a hard drive, and it kept disconnecting. And then before you know it, my computer was glitching, and he's like, you should clear out the cache. How many times have you cleared out your cache? I am just not a computer whiz. So know your strengths, people. And I'm reading a book right now that talks about utilize those that have those strengths. Connect with them, partner with them, whatever that may look like. We don't have to know it all. We just have to be able to connect with people who know what you don't know, so that they can help you and you both can grow together. Simple as that. So, okay. So others are subtle in your strengths, like being a great listener or having a knack for making people laugh. I'm telling you, I laugh at my own jokes. By the way, my sister-in-law is a professional bargain maker. She will bargain things down. That is, seriously, I am so impressed with her. She has a little legitimate strength in that. Trust me. It's amazing. I absolutely love that about her. So recently, and not even recently, it happened a while back. So I realized that I had a strength. One of my strengths was in communications. When I would get up on stage in front of like hundreds of people, and I would actually awkwardly tell jokes. That was before I became a speaker. but I knew it was a strength that I had because I wasn't shy to get on stage. Now, I may not have been, what's the word I'm looking for? I positioned in a place to actually be a speaker, but I was getting my feet wet. I was stepping out of my comfort zone. And if you look at past videos, photos, things like that, you can see a lot of like hunching. You can see me like this, you can see me like this. And that was just my whole demeanor of my posture, because like when someone is lacking self-confidence, they do a lot of this, they kind of hide their head, their face, or whatever. They kind of walk in a position where they're closing themselves off to people. And some people don't even realize they're doing it. And so now when I speak with, authority. I'm standing up. I'm, shoulders back. And it's so funny because my friend videographer tells me, he's like, shoulders back. So I have to like remember, because actually I still kind of sometimes hunch. And I think that's just because I'm so used to like this coming inward, that it's an automatic. And I don't mean to do it, but it's really about your posture and presenting yourself as an authority figure. And so when I did get up on like a strength of mine, my degree was in communications, but even then I was still terrified to get in front of people and speak. And sometimes I would have people reach out to me and ask me, how are you so confident being up on stage? How many times did I do it? I had to do it multiple times. So it's going to take a lot of what you're uncomfortable with doing in order to create the person you're meant to become, because it's with constant repetition of stepping out of your comfort zone, of trying new things. I don't tell jokes anymore. Well, I'm sorry, I still do. I still do, but in a more professional manner, I should say, because I like having fun, you know? I enjoy the audience. I love when the audience is able to have fun with me. We're able to, joke and laugh together. But the key is to pay attention to what you enjoy doing. What are you good at? What makes you feel alive? That's where your strengths are hiding. And what I found out, what really keeps me alive and keeps me going, is the impact I get to make by sharing this, whether it's virtual, online, where people can watch, or sharing it on a stage, on a platform, so others can hear and be inspired. Because of the energy I bring and just this realness about me, it's my dream and my goal and my why to make sure that every single woman out there knows that she was meant for more. And I love that. And that's what I want for you all. Okay. So I want you to go be amazing. Now that you've discovered your strengths, now what? Well, you go out there and kick butt, make it happen, of course. Use your strengths in your work, in your relationships, your hobbies, everywhere. Know that you're going to constantly show up in a space of authority and have fun with it. Don't be afraid to try new things and push yourself outside your comfort zone, because that is where the magic happens. I was chosen one time. This is funny. I was chosen one time as a master of ceremonies for an event I did for the chamber. I was a volunteer of the chamber. That's actually where I started. And they had asked me to be the master of ceremonies because, again, I started out there with like crazy kind of quirky jokes and things like that. But the more I did it, the more confident I felt. And so when they asked me to be master of ceremonies, it was for like a more prestigious dinner. I was like, okay, I did it. I said, you know what? Yes, I will do it. But I made sure I showed up with authority with confidence, with excitement. I was actually introducing a woman that night who I had met. She was a former news anchor, and she was giving one of the directors of the Commerce Casino an award. So I had to introduce her while she got to present the award to him. So everybody was there. It was a very prestigious dinner and awards. And I got to show up as a master of ceremonies and share my story of how I knew her, or how I met her for the first time. And then she was able to pass the award on. But I was professional. I didn't crack dumb jokes. And I just stood in my power because everybody there, well, more than half the people didn't know who I was, but the people that did, they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I still said yes because I knew I could make it happen. There was something within me, without a doubt, that knew I was about to go to my next level. And the rest is history. I started hosting summits and conferences because I started doing women's events with them. And I knew that I knew the impact it had. And this is why I continue to do them. Okay, so I want you to remember your strengths are your superpowers. Use them wisely. And I want you to know that your adventure starts now. So go forth and discover your amazing, quirky, unique strengths, because you are meant for more, and knowing your strengths is the first step to getting there. So, okay, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm all about providing value, and I don't need to go any more than what we already have. I want you to take action, because remember, knowledge without action is not really going to get you anywhere. So make sure that you're applying the knowledge that you're taking in. So now, constantly personal development through books, through podcasts, through those types of opportunities, because you're always wanting to grow. But if you're going to be learning and training on something specific, definitely apply it. Even when you're reading, if you're reading something and it's telling you to do a certain thing or telling you what you need to do, make sure you're applying it. Okay, so next time on You Were Meant for More, as mentioned, we'll be talking to Tony Navarez about overcoming obstacles and embracing dreams in entrepreneurship. He has stories to share, people. And this one particular one is of his own upbringing, of him asking a girl on a date in junior high. And this changed his whole trajectory from being poor to excelling as one of the top sought after tax accountants in the industry. So it's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for next week. Don't miss out. Thank you so much for hanging with me today. I appreciate you. I'm loving on you, sending you so much love and energy. Go out there, be amazing. And like I mentioned, always connect with me. Join my inner circle of Ignite Your Confidence. I'm having that going on all of the month of January and February, so you don't want to miss out. For more information, you can follow me at francinayala.com. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. Let me go ahead and do this. That's WheelaConnects.com. And then you also want to follow me at any way you can follow me. You can actually type in francinayala.com. You can type in and Google Francine Ayala. You'll find all of the social media links to connect with me on. You'll find my YouTube. You'll find Facebook. You'll find Instagram. So however you want to stay connected, do so. I'm looking forward to it. Have a blessed evening, day, wherever you're joining me from, and I will see you next week. Enjoy. Have a good one. God bless. Bye. Hey everyone, welcome back to season 2 of You Were Meant for More. I am your host, Francine Ayala, and I am so excited as far as what's coming for 2025. I've recently launched an 8-week program called Ignite Your Confidence, and we are going to focus on the fundamentals of faith, fitness, and finance, because those are the 3 foundations that you need to really break through in this new year. So are you ready to step out into your power and purpose and walk boldly and confidently into your next season? Go ahead and contact me at francineayala.com/men for more.